All right, I'm going to go ahead and start. It's right at 1 o'clock. And we're just going to do a brief review today of just what's left of things y'all got to do. So I would expect the session to be rather short, but this morning's 24:51. People got asking me all kinds of questions, and so it took a little longer than I thought it would. First thing, let's go through the calendar for the next week, but I want to look at one thing real quick before I get into that to see. I'm trying to remember what I have given y'all to do. Okay. So we're down to the last week. Next Monday is the last day of class. Tuesday's when your finals are due. Now, a little more detail on that process. The lab for this week, which I think y'all do have one, I'm not sure. And it does look like you do have a lab this week. Well, maybe you don't. You got a test this week. You do have a lab. Okay. So you got a test this week and you got a lab this week. Those are due Monday the 3rd. That's an absolute cutoff time at 11:59 Monday night. So make sure those are in. I've got on the calendar that the Google Cloud Labs are due that day too, which they are. If you do them after that point, you're not going to get credit for them. Although, if you'll have some credits left over after you do the 2 courses I told you to do, and so you can do further. And if you did need a few more credits to be able to take another course of theirs out there that you wanted to do, let me know, and more than likely Jill has some credits left that she can give you for you to be able to go ahead and do that. Now, the restriction on those credits is they do expire in August, so you can't stretch out trying to do more stuff beyond there. But I could get you a few more if you are interested in that you're going this or that class. Sitting out there looks interesting. Also, the packet tracer class needs to get turned in, be finished up. That's at Cisco. I had told y'all to get it done back in February. Actually, I think I told you to get it done by the end of January originally, and that's probably where it's on the calendar. But I have extended it, so there's a few people that have not done it yet. The only thing that you have to do in there is you have to take that final that's in it, and you have to do the course feedback in that packet tracer course. Now, you need to go through, read the material, and look at it all, and you should have done that early on because it will show you a lot of things about packet tracer and what all you can do with packet tracer. And that counts as a lab. The Google 2 courses count as a lab also. And when I grade both of those, the Google Labs and the packet tracer course, I'm going to be just looking to see if you did take the final in the packet tracer course and did the course feedback, which means I can mark you complete in there, and that gets you the little certificate of completion. Then you'll get 100. If you don't do that, you'll get a 0 on that lab, and those count as a lab. The Google one, I will get from Jill West. She will send me a report probably Wednesday morning of the status of all of my students. Did they do on the 2 courses what they did? And all I'm looking for is to see that you completed those 2 courses I told you to take. Also, if you noticed out there in when you're doing those at Quick Labs, it does score you as it tells you you got a certain number of questions right, or where it asks you some questions, but all it does at the end of it is it gives you a green check mark. And so as long as you got each of the courses completed, which it tells you you qualified to get your badge to use on LinkedIn, then that means that you qualify to get the 100 on it. more than likely, what I will do is if you get one of the two courses completed, I'll give you a 50. If you get them both completed, you'll get 100. And if you don't get them, either of them completed, you'll get a 0 on that lab, and it counts as a lab. The final exam will become available on Saturday morning at 12:01 a.m. and will be available through Tuesday, May the 4th. So you can take the final through that Tuesday. It will be twice as many questions as you had on your chapters, and it will cover all of the chapters in the course or modules. Remember, it's chapters if we're looking at printed book, it's modules if we're looking at the online. It will also, if you haven't already done the course feedback for this course out there at NetAcad, that's a separate one from the one you have to do for Packet Tracer, but it's the same questions. It will make you go through and do that first before it will let you do the final exam. Or you can go ahead and do the course feedback now. And it should be available. As far as I know, I've got it activated out there for you at this point. The final lab is sitting there in Blackboard. And if you look in assignments in Blackboard, it's down at the bottom of the list, and you can find the lab that you're supposed to do. And you're going to do that lab and then submit it there in the Dropbox, just like you've submitted all the other labs. And that counts as final lab for you. I think I've got a note over there in NetAcad where it shows, I think I do have a note in there that says it's in Blackboard, but I may not. I don't remember which classes I put that note in, which I did. It's a little more complicated than it used to be because they're using Canvas now, and it's not doing quite as friendly as when they used to use the other freeware one, and I can't think of the name of it right at the moment. And I'd gotten used to it and figured my way around on it. And there's things they don't have set up yet in Canvas to letting me put deadlines out there yet on stuff, or necessarily adding notes and stuff. So it's a continuing process. So that's the stuff you've got to do coming down to the end. Any tests that need to be made up, I'll have to be made up by Monday night. There won't be any of those accepted after. Any tests you've missed are subject to the 15-point-a-week penalty that's described in the syllabus. Same thing goes for assignments that are turned in late. They are subject to a 15-point-a-week penalty too. So make sure you get all of that stuff done for those, and get that all in. Beyond that, next week, that stuff all come in on Monday. Oh, this Collaborate session today really doesn't count in your grade anywhere because I don't have a discussion in this final week. So there's not a discussion for you to get credit for by attending today. I see 4 of y'all did attend. I had 5 in this morning's class attending, which was good. Yesterday's session, I had nobody in. I haven't graded last week's discussion yet, but I have posted, all of you that attended the Collaborate, I have posted those grades out there. So that's all there at this point. I was planning to grade the discussion today, but that turned a little impossible after all. I do have most stuff graded that you have turned in to date right now. As of this morning earlier, I had module 25 graded, and most people, no, I had module 26 graded, and I still got like 9 module 25s to grade. So I'm about halfway there on module 25, and I got 26 done. The discussion, I was hoping to grade it today, but my hot water heater failed yesterday, and they were there working at my house all morning on it. I hope they got it fixed, because then after they left and I was actually doing my other session then, that they closed up everything, and I assumed they got it all fixed on it, but they had to fully drain the hot water heater, and I tried to take a shower right after that, and it was cold water, so I really didn't do on that, but it didn't ever get warm. But I think it's just the fact that the hot water heater didn't have time to heat all that water. So I'm hoping that that's fixed for me on that. Got this session right now at 1 o'clock, and then 2 o'clock I've got a statewide meeting of the networking curriculum people that I'm chair of, and they're having an election for a new chair today, which probably be me again. And that we're looking at how are we going to teach Server 2019 and also adding in Azure Cloud Track. We do have an AWS Cloud Track now, although GNTC has not adopted that yet. Actually, our advisory committee recommends we do the Azure one, and there's been nothing done on it yet because we have no idea which courses Microsoft recommends for that or Server 2019, which changes how it's set up, the certifications. And hopefully they're going to tell us some information today. And then this evening I've got a Kiwanis meeting online of the planning committee I'm on. So tomorrow hopefully I'll get some more stuff done and have done, because then Monday, all of that stuff comes in on Monday. Tuesday the exams all come in, but I can't do final grade so then Wednesday I'll need to be transferring grades between Cisco and Netacad in my 3 Cisco classes, possibly having to do some final grading if I didn't. Hopefully got that stuff done on Tuesday and get all of that done. I'm also needing to get my classes set up for next semester. Do have the syllabi set up in 3 of them now of the 5 or 6 classes I'm teaching, because there's a 6th one I'm probably going to have to teach, but right now it's assigned to somebody else. But if enrollment doesn't jump up on it, I'm going to have to teach it for the low enrollment. So we'll see what happens on that. And so I need to get those classes set up in Blackboard. So I do have the syllabus set up in half the classes, but I've still got to set up the Blackboard classes. And 2 of them, it's a brand new book, so I've got to completely set up the Blackboard class. And I've got to work on that. And I've got that next week could work on that also, but that's also a time I'm supposed to be able to take leave and take off, because that's the only times that they really want us taking annual leave that faculty are supposed to take is when students aren't here, which is between semesters and like when we had spring break. So then Thursday, I will only be probably at the school a half a day, because the Thursday night I am going down to Rome to graduation, which is a drive-through graduation. And if you're graduating but you were thinking you were going to go through it but you hadn't put in anything about going through it, it's too late for that now. But I know I've told somebody that's going through it that I would be there to see them graduate. So I'm going to go down there Thursday night, and that's going to essentially take 4 hours out of my day right there, between the drive down to Rome, drive back, and then the probably 2 hours at graduation. Graduation will probably run about an hour, and then they want us to be there usually close to an hour beforehand, because they got to give us our t-shirt, our mask, and they want us to be all hanging around and ready to go before the time of it. So that means I'll probably take off half a day during the day. Friday morning at 10 o'clock, grades are all due in, so I've got to have them in Banner or my GNTC as we call it now, by 10 o'clock that morning. So all of that stuff's got to be done by then. You can probably see your grades on my GNTC probably on Monday, but for sure by Tuesday. The other one is I would like to get everything graded on Tuesday so that y'all can look in Blackboard and see what you did make on the last stuff. And that would also actually give you your average in the class, that would be the correct average for the class to know what your grade was. So that you could do that, because they will probably cut off Blackboard Wednesday night for students. That's what they usually do. My preference on back when I ran Blackboard was it should stay open. The courses should stay open at least several more days so students can look in there and see after the class ends what they did. If there's anything that is missing, something that you submitted and it's not graded, or one of these collaborate sessions one week didn't get recorded for you, that you knew you attended, send me an email and tell me, and I'll go out and check. Because actually it records in Blackboard and Collaborate. For each session, it keeps a chart of everybody that was in the session that day. So I can go back and look and see if you were in that session. So if there's a missing something, or if there's a grade that you're going is wrong, or if where I've got to transfer test grades from Netacad to Blackboard, that it's wrong in Blackboard versus what it is in Netacad, let me know on that too. Although I'm going to we'll catch that in the midst of when I'm doing the final grading, because before I turn your average in for this class, I'll make sure the average comes out the same both at Netacad and at Blackboard. Now, when I say the same, that's within a point. Because the two, even though I gave them the same formula, they calculated a little differently. So sometimes it's off a tenth or 2/10 of a point between the two, but that doesn't make any difference on your grade. So I'll try to get, I know I got that extra little piece of work to do too. So any questions on all of that? Anyone? Where you're going and what you got to do? And if you're not registered for summer yet, you need to get registered as soon as possible. And actually, when I looked at enrollment for the school for summer, our enrollment for this summer is up over last summer. And we just have done one new student orientation so far. So we've got like 3 more. So we're going to have some more students in here this summer. So I think all of y'all are in pretty good shape. Heather, are you graduating this time? Because you should be close. Okay, I thought so. And Kelly, you finish up this time also. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, you're already enrolled for summer. I'm misreading, sorry. And because I was thinking Heather was probably pretty close on it. And Joseph, I'm not sure on you. Okay. But somebody asked me to go to it, and my comment has always been that if you want me there in Rome, since we went to that, we only have to go to one a year of the faculty, that if they want me to attend the one in Rome, any of my students to let me know, and I'll be glad to go down there. And somebody asked me, I can't remember exactly who it was, but I'll be there. Because I normally go to the Dalton one, because that's obviously closer for me. So I normally go to that one in December, which I did do. So this year I'll do 2 graduations. And on back, we used to have to do that anyway. Hopefully, when we get to fall, that we will actually do walking through on graduation. And Heather, since you're up here, if you find out that we're going to be doing walking for fall graduation and you want to walk through graduation, write and tell them that you can actually, as far as I know from my understanding in the past, is since this would be your home campus graduation is the north one, that you would be able to walk in December then, if you want to do the walking on it. Likewise, if somebody was finishing in December that's in Rome, that they can put off to walk to normally in May. Well, just like this one will be in May when we normally do that one. So if you decide this early this fall that you gotta do and check, and I can let you know. My expectation is they're going to do it in person in December, where you actually walk through graduation. Because we're supposed to be back to normal schedule in classes in the fall, is what they're saying. So I would expect they're planning at this point to doing it in person, or doing where you walk across the stage and we're all in the big room for December. So if that's what you'd like to do, Heather, you should be able to do it. Okay. So have fun with the party. So that's the status on it. And then hopefully I can take off some that week between the 2 semesters. But the other part is I'm going to have to, if I don't have my classes all set up for summer, I'll have to get working on that. So I'm trying to start working on that now in the midst of stuff too. All right, any questions for me on anything? We did a lot in this class, that with 27 modules, I guess it was. That was a lot of material, and that we've made it through. So 28 modules, okay. So we're to the end, and that hopefully y'all all learned some stuff in it. I know I learned some more stuff in it. And then I'm sitting here actually taking now, started 2 weeks ago, an AWS course that I also need to work on this week and next week, because I haven't even started on this week's assignment for the studying and stuff for it. And then I'll have stuff the next week, because it runs 15 weeks and I'm on week 3, I think it is, this week. So we're on chapter 4, so that should be week 3, because we did chapters 1 and 2 the first week, I believe. And then in June, I'm supposed to be taking a Cisco course on DevNet that will run like 8 weeks in there. So continue to be busy. So, and I'm not sure, you should be able to keep on going back in there, and I'm not sure how long you'll be able to keep on going back in there. It used to be for a good long time, and I think it still is. You can get back in there and see. What does get killed is that, which they warn us, and I got to remember once I finish on this, and I do backup. I try to do backups of all the courses at Netacad and Blackboard weekly, although I didn't do quite as well this semester, but I'll definitely do at the end. But the other part is they've told us with the way it's set up now, I've got to make sure I export the grade book from out there, because after they conclude the course, when they and see on that after it's over. All right, if there's no other questions, I'm going to let y'all go. As I say, I've got another thing that I've got to conduct, that statewide meeting at 2 o'clock, which I hope only runs about an hour, but I also hope we get a lot of information on Server 2019, and also on what they want us to, what Microsoft's recommending we do in teaching Azure. So talk to y'all later. Some of you I'll see this summer, some of you obviously I won't. But I'll be teaching the 2452 for those that are in it this summer. So Ashland, I think I'm supposed to see you in the 2452. This is the second Cisco course, if I'm remembering right, that you're in it. And then I've got that, and I've got 3 server classes, all 3 server classes to teach this summer, 2412, 2413, and 24. Class. So that's about it. So I'll let y'all go. I'm going to stop the recording, and I'm going to try to upload these